Alright folks, you know I like a bit of a challenge, and today I will be torturing myself. We are going to be playing Black Ice, an infamous mod, a difficult mod, but I heard good things about it. I saw Uldrahill play it lately, figured I can do that, so let's check it out.
Let the contest begin!
Now the mod makers and the community recommend you play an easier nation first, like Italy, so have a small war to familiarize yourself with the new systems and get supply and production unit control under control. Or as the USA, because you're massive, you're an industrial powerhouse, and you're very far away from any major threats, so you can play at your own leisure. So naturally, we'll be playing as Germany. There is really only one option here. Now, difficulty modes, regular, veteran, or Black Ice mode. Let's stick with regular. It's going to be hard enough as it is. Historical AI, because it's recommended, and Iron Man, because I am a stubborn bastard. Let's go. All right, what's this? Overview, industry rework. Okay, so we got food, power plants, raw materials. All right. We do not suggest playing on Iron Man. You know what? Screw you. Let's take a look. What makes Black Ice so fancy? First off, let's take a look at the focus tree. Massive. There's no alt history really here. So on the left, we have industry in all varieties. We have an Air Force tree, a Navy tree, an SS tree, and an army branch, and a political tree. So the usual suspects. I'm not entirely familiar with the tree. I don't know what the optimal path is, but I'm thinking we grab this one. I'll get mine SS, 0 days. That's like free. And then I'm gonna grab the commandos. So the Navy, Sea, and Army command, because if you unlock all three focuses, you get an extra research slot. And then probably Rhineland, and we'll go from there. I'm thinking usually as Germany, you want to go big on industry first to snowball, which is probably what we'll do. But there's more complexness here. You may note that all of these icons are NATO symbols. Fortunately for me, I can read NATO symbols. I know what all these are, but I haven't really found a way to turn that off. So at least these are the icons everyone understands. But yeah, NATO symbols are a thing here, so we'll have to figure that out as we go. Research is split. We have way more research slots, but every slot is locked to a certain type of research. So the bottom one here can only do aircraft. This one can only do armor and specific tank techs. You have a naval slot, you have an infantry equipment or artillery slot, and the first two are like all-purpose slots, so you can research anything with these. Like all these tabs, all these techs are unlocked. But if I were to take the aircraft tab, for instance, there's nothing in the other slots. I can only do aircraft with these, so BF 109 it is. And we got a bunch of stuff here, like, oh boy. Improved smelting. I guess we're grabbing things like quality control. Yeah, you gotta build up that industry first. Army equipment. Germany starts out pretty decked out, so most of this is ahead of time. I think I want to start with armor trains because I'm expecting to get bombed a lot. I'd like to not get bombed that much. And then tank stuff. Yeah, new tank sounds nice. And Navy stuff. Naval invasion tech. Yeah. Now this is 809 days. If you're thinking, but that is like way ahead of time. Yes. Yes, it is. But it's not actually ahead of time. It just takes that long because one, our Navy sucks, so we get a penalty to it. But also we need to get it. If we're ever going to naval invade, currently our base capacity for naval invasions is 2. And this brings it up to 4. I'd like to have at least 4 dudes ready. There's of course more to this, and this is where the real difficulty comes in. The trade tab. Not only do we have this here, energy, we have power plants and hydro plants that provide energy for all your different types of factories and refineries, and you have to balance the civilian needs against the military needs, and it's complicated and it adds another layer of pain. There's also refineries. So you see steel and aluminum are no longer on map resources. No, instead there is coal, iron, and bauxite. And through the use of coal and specific refineries like steel refineries, as they're called, steel mills, you turn a bit of iron and a bit of coal into a bit of steel. And that is how you get your hands on steel. And the same deal here with bauxite. You turn bauxite into aluminum by putting it into a refinery, which uses power and bauxite to produce aluminum. And then there's more synthetic fuel down here. These are all refineries that you have to manually turn on. You have fuel refineries, you have rubber refineries, you have so many refineries. This feels more like an industry tycoon game than it does like Hearts of Iron. So I'm not really sold on this. It already annoys me. Then the army. Got a lot of units. Let's start organizing them. All right, that gives me 3 full armies and 2 loose units. Now you're thinking full armies, but there's only 12 there. Allow me to assign a general. They can only have 12 units attached to them. Armies will be significantly smaller than in base game. Divisions will also be smaller. Let's turn these guys all into basic infantry. We got 3 tank divisions and about 24, 36, 38 infantry divisions. Let's exercise those with a field marshal von Blumberg. So yeah, your leaders can lead fewer troops. Your divisions are going to be naturally smaller and you'll have fewer of them. This is all in the name of realism. Anyway, we got cast, we got fighters, we got naval bombers, transports. Let's get rid of all the medium bombers, naval bombers, and transports. I don't intend to use those. We're gonna go pure fighters around Berlin, and the cast will park around Berlin as well. Let's take a look at our production. So production has also been overhauled. Not only do we have your regular needs up here like steel, rubber, that sort of stuff. No, we now have specific things that we need. So there are engine production capacities, limiting the amount of things that need an engine you can build at the same time. Same with artillery production capacity. So you need artillery foundries to build more artillery if you run out. Same with tank production plants, aircraft facilities, and dockyards, capital shipyards, as they call them. Another layer of economy management. I don't know how much of that I like, but we'll have to put up with it. I'll have to start organizing this first though. So what do I want? I know already that I'm going to need way more garrison equipment than I'm willing to admit. So that is getting a high priority for me. I will not be using medium bombers. Instead, we will be getting close air support. I want way more fighters, way more CAS. I don't want Panzerkampfwagen 1A. I'm already making the B, so I'm gonna delete that line. I don't want to make more of these light tanks. This is plenty. I want to shift into mediums as early as possible. Uniforms are fine. SS uniforms, like they're for these are for separate SS divisions. We'll touch on that later, but I'll leave that. Support equipment's fine. Mountain warfare. I'm not going to use mountaineers, but I am planning to use amphibious units. I'm planning to use submarines, so I'll add to that. And we have mountain artillery, pack artillery, that's fine. Light artillery's fine. Medium artillery, I'm not really sure if I want light or medium artillery. Honestly, I'm gonna leave this as is for now. I'm not sure if I want light or medium. Heavy artillery, I want a lot of because I know that it's really good for your infantry to give them a little bit of bite. Flak, sure. I know I need a way more horse transports. I'm gonna need way more trucks as well. Artillery prime movers, these help your heavy artillery move around, so keep making these. Same with transports, same with the machine guns. So you probably noticed by now that there is a way larger variety of equipment that you need to make. I feel like I'm playing a management sim. Everything else seems to be in order, unless I want to get rid of the medium artillery. I don't know if I like having medium artillery or not, because I have to check out my designs. I know that the infantry uses 2 kinds of artillery, 3. Heavy artillery, medium artillery, and regular light artillery. I am tempted to remove one of those and like streamline things, only using one. I am tempted to get medium artillery instead of light artillery for my units, and then remove the artillery from my tanks and make these dedicated tank divisions get the soft attack from the tanks. I know that I won't need this much motorcycle equipment though. I'm not planning to use a lot of motorcycles. And then Navy, bunch of naval vessels in the queue. I'm keeping everything except the small subs because I want to organize my submarines differently. I don't want to use small coastal subs. Just finish building everything. I don't know what's optimal. I'm really not skilled enough with this mod. As you can probably tell by now, this mod changes pretty much everything about the base game, and very little of my knowledge of the game transfers over. At least I hope the combat still makes sense. We've got an intelligence agency to start with, so let's start with it. Localized training centers first, and I'm going to spy on probably the French first so I can start building collaboration governments. Industry sucks, so we'll have to sort that out. My guts tell me build civs. Build a lot of civs early on, but look at this construction bonus I have to mills. I want to make use of that to get a couple of military factories going and then build civs after afterwards. Am I wrong? I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about the mod to be sure if what I'm doing is right. All right, that's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah, let's go. All right, Allgemeine is done. Let's grab those the commands, an extra research slot, hopefully. Fuel is a massive issue in this mod as well. It's way more difficult to come by. I'm gonna keep trading for it with people who I don't intend to fight right away, so we at least don't run a deficit day one. Do I want Scharnhorst and Eisenau? Yes, but do I want that with small guns or big guns? What kind of question is that? Of course I want the big guns. Let's take a look here. Steel. I want steel, but I don't want to buy it from the French. So instead I could buy iron from, say, the Swedes. Let's buy 20 civilian factories worth of iron. I can turn on my refineries to produce steel. Look at that. Look at that. What the management sim this is. And then either I can buy aluminum from the Italians or buy bauxite from the Italians. I think it's mathematically better if this costs 2 factories, and if I were to buy bauxite, how much would that be? Probably also 2 factories, but then I'd also, yeah, let's just buy aluminum. Sometimes it doesn't exactly make sense what you have to do here. So my goal here is probably going to be to grab my research slot, like I said. So the first of these army branches, then entering the Rhineland, and then we'll have to grab the industry all the way on the left. So as much of the industry as I can. Now, there are a couple of things here that I want, but Anschluss, for instance, is locked behind either army strength, that is your army in the field, or a timer. I don't think I'll be able to get enough army strength before I hit the timer. So there's other stuff like supporting the nationalists, empowering foreign nationals so I can send more volunteers to Spain. So many different things here. So much to do. I'll probably not be highlighting what I'm doing with the focus tree or the research as much as in the usual video, because this is definitely not a guide. I have no idea what's optimal, so do not trust anything I do. Just don't trust me. All right, that's all the commands assigned. So an extra slot that specifically allows us to do doctrines, which brings us to doctrines. So there's World War I tech, but we went through World War I as Germany, so this is all known to us. And then there's the basic doctrine. So we still have mobile warfare, superior firepower. I think this is grand battle plan, but it's called methodical battle doctrine and mass assault. We all know and love these. I'm sure the numbers have been tweaked, but as Germany, naturally mobile warfare. Ooh, assault operation. So yeah, they've really completely reworked this. Asymmetrical warfare. I don't think this is something we can do. No. Special forces here. And now the important stuff. There's now a command portion of the doctrines. This allows your armies to be bigger and gives you small bonuses overall to army experience and coordination. Essentially, you want all of these so that your field marshals can have 5 armies in them and your armies can have 16 divisions in them. This makes command and control much easier. So you want all of these. Regimental doctrines. This decides how much experience you gain from your exercises, from combat, and also further on gives bonuses specifically to your units all the way down to the bottom here, which gives you a pretty big buff to everything. Then there's operational support. This is the logistical part of your doctrine. Important. It reduces supply consumption. It gives you bigger supply range. It gives you faster movement. You lose fewer soldiers. All of this is important. And then there's defensive doctrine. Attritional containment, elastic defense, prepared defense, and defense in depth. All of these target specific things. For instance, elastic defense is very much focused on your tanks, using your tanks as a mobile defense to cut off and counterattack the enemy, while attritional containment focuses more on giving your units more organization and staying power, and as well leveraging additional recruitable population. I don't know which of these I want. Maybe defense in depth. It doesn't look terrible, but then again, not great either. I'm leaning towards attritional containment because it will give me more manpower, while elastic defense does give you a lot of tank bonuses. Tanks are already pretty good. I don't think they need that many bonuses. First, I want to start with the regimental doctrines. These give me experience, and the more experience I have, the faster everything else goes. Let's go get our Rhineland. Military theorists are required to get you that ticking army XP, more or less the same as in base game. So I'm thinking I'll hire Guderian to make my tanks better, make my doctrine research a little faster, and get me army experience. And now I get to design a tank. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm sure people are gonna love the fact that you can change everything from the main gun to the armor distribution all the way to the steering and transmission. I don't like this. I'm probably much too smooth-brained to build the absolute optimal design here. Like I said, I'm really not good with numbers. Fortunately, there is a solution of sorts. This button up here, historical tank design. So the major nations have these preset. If all the research is done, you can click the button, spend 10 army experience, and unlock the design that Germany more or less historically used. This also allows me to showcase something else, like for instance the tiger down here. Look at the amount of text I need to have researched to get the tiger. So I'm going to click the button. I've unlocked the design. We'll take this, and instead we can now make the Panzerkampfwagen 2A instead of Panzerkampfwagen 1B. And you can tell it's just the design. They threw the design in there and you can start using it. Medium artillery is probably too expensive, so I'll replace it with regular light artillery. These are still 25 with, should be okay-ish. Yeah, I haven't showed you that, but they've changed all the combat widths to be 75, so pretty much literally every tile is 75 combat width, meaning aim for multiple of 25. Spanish Civil War. Let's grab support nationalist Spain, 14 days. Okay. And we are going to be sending them some volunteers. 3 units is what I can send. So I'll send my 3 tanks along with air volunteers. 2 air wings should help. Now we have a couple of decisions available specifically for the Spanish Civil War. So this is where you can add or reduce your support for Franco and his boys. Volunteers supporting the Republicans. I don't want people to leave my country to go fight, and I will instead have them die in Russian fields on behalf of Germany. So with these set of decisions, we can influence the Spanish Civil War. Operation Feuerzauber. This is where I needed those transports for. This gets Franco out of Africa and into Spain. Definitely gonna need that. Operation Ursula. No idea what it does. Apparently it has something to do with German submarines annoying the Republican Navy. And we're just gonna mess about a little bit in Spain. So the goal is to win the Spanish Civil War, get as much experience out of it as we can, both air and army, and let's go from there. And I've also just spent half an hour renaming all of our divisions, including our glorious tank divisions, to channel members. Everyone who signs up for a channel membership is added to a big list of names, and I use those names to import them into the game, and all units recruited will have that division name as long as the mod works. Let's see if it works. Yay! So boys, welcome aboard the pain train. Ooh, I've also unlocked the Bismarck. Yes, I would like one of those, please. So ships are unlocked the same way as tanks are. Well, you could build them from scratch or use the historical designs. If you meet all the requirements, you can click the button and unlock them. Like the Munchen, I just need some Navy experience and get a cheapish light cruiser. Well, at least we got the Spanish cut in half, more or less. We got a southern bit here in Granada, and then in Catalonia and Valencia to the north. It's gonna be a pain just finishing this war, but we're pulling our weight. And Guderian's boys have a nice level of experience already. They are very elite, and Heinz himself is grabbing some nice bonuses like Logistics Wizard. Very nice, very good. Spanish Civil War is over. Maybe a bit early, but okay. Well, in that case, I don't have to micro that. I got a little bit of XP out of the whole affair. Now I can focus entirely on making this Germany run work. I could maybe send Japan some air volunteers. 2 air wings would not be terrible to have over there. I'm thinking when we hit 38, switch over construction from these last couple of civs straight into military factories. Like as many military factories as I can possibly build. Preferably build them like far away from the Atlantic coastline, because I'm expecting them to get bombed if I don't play my cards right. And knowing me, I don't even know that I have cards. So yeah, might want to be careful. I just feel like I'm messing up more than half the things I'm supposed to do here. Hurrah! We have eaten Austria. Now, Anschluss is done. Unfortunately, we can't just rush the Sudetenland. We have to wait until August or until our army strength is at a certain strength, which is... we're nowhere near it, so we'll fill up the gap with, I wasn't going to say more industrial stuff, but I've pretty much picked all the industry stuff that's going to be relevant. I don't know, the August program, and expand the Opelwerke, and then maybe the aircraft factories as well. All right, so we still have some stuff. We got some Austrian troops as well, and we'll convert them to basic infantry while we're at it. And we demand the Sudetenland, a historic day for Germany. Hurrah! That should give us a ton of extra factories. Yes, and now I'm suddenly short on production capacity. I'll build another engine factory then. Well, time to eat the Czech state. No puppet state for me. It'll be part of the Reich. Thank you very much. Oh, and we finished our collaboration government, and the next one's being prepared, but that's gonna take like a year. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna get the benefit of that last collab. Yeah, like I said, I'm like 6 months off. As I find myself racing against time, I'm considering activating the SS divisions after all. They are not by any means good divisions, but they may serve as some sort of west wall or a D-Day wall I can organize, I think. I'll just put the 9 divisions, that's not bad. I'll put them under a new theater. And August, time for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Then we mobilize the Reich, and then we present a solution to Danzig. Let's make sure we can keep trading with Sweden. I'm going to lose a lot of my oil imports. I'm importing some from Romania, most from Venezuela, and I'm going to lose those. I'm going to make up the shortfall with an import from the Soviets. But first, war. Air Force is up. Army is positioned, so I got 3 tanks here. We'll try to push towards Graudenz, and then I got 3 tanks here, and we'll try to, meet in the middle, cut off the western section of Poland. Other than that, just try to push them without overextending ourselves. We don't want to give them too much. Don't want to lose too many divisions in the attack either. Navy is out here on strike force to prevent the Royal Navy from just dumping Marines on our coastline. They'll still try. Their Navy is way stronger than mine, but I'm gonna make a fight of it. And the subs are raiding the southern Baltic, get that Polish shipping done. And the SS is guarding my ports because that's all they're good for. The fight begins. Let's see how long my oil lasts. Probably should have stopped exercising like a while ago. And that should see our lines linked up in a bit. Again, research. Constantly gotta check this. What do I want to do? I want to do a lot of things, but what can I do? Snipers, fine. Soft attack, good. I like soft attack. The fall of Warsaw. Hooray! Another victory for the fatherland. And now the Soviets are going to come in as well, as they do. It was to be expected. It's just how the Soviet Union operates. And that is Poland gone. We will obey the treaty. We will be nice about it. All right, this man, von Rundstedt, you may hold the west wall, and we'll integrate these other forces into that. Let's get this entire field marshal deployed on this border, and we'll be taking on the Low Countries next. I'm going to turn that off, and we're going to go straight for around de Maginot. I'll have to make an infantry push. Early game, we should have the air war under our control until the British show up. Until then, let's party. Well, there goes Luxembourg. I got 3 guns out of them. This is not the rapid advance I would have liked to do with my tanks, but I completely forgot about them. Oh, they're still in Poland. Oh, this is so dumb. Yep, Dutch are out. Belgium shouldn't be that much more difficult. And make sure that Steiner keeps an eye on all these extra ports. Don't want to lose any to the British, who think that it might be funny to show up. And we'll also redeploy all the air to the southern Netherlands, also known as Belgium. Beautiful. Air war is shaping up to be fierce between the French and my air force, but I think I'll have the edge. Once I take a few more airfields, I should have the edge. Is my armor arrived yet? It has. My armor has arrived. Let's throw it right into the fight. Oh, classic Germany. Straight through Belgium. I'll redeploy the tanks towards there, and then a drive on Paris. How much longer for that collaboration government? 56 days. Oh, I would have to extend the war. Do I want to extend the fighting for that long? Yes, because it's going to give me like an extra 10 compliance, because compliance is so important. Currently, if they cap, they have 20 compliance, which is not enough. I want compliance to be at least above 15%. That's good, but I need it to be above 25%. I'll require fewer garrisons, and I get more recruitable pop out of the area. And especially the required garrisons is going to be massive, so I really, really want to get the French to cap slowly. Marines also ready. Who to lead them? Somebody with a good attack value. Student? maybe? Yeah, this guy. This guy's fine. Oh, 14 days. Come on, baby. Don't cap yet, France. Don't cap yet. All right, with that Finnish collaboration government, what would that give us? 29% compliance. Sweet. There we go. The French Republic has capitulated. And in light of that, the main force withdraws to the Soviet border. It doesn't need to do any fighting, and I'm gonna start getting a border guard, a coastal battalion ready. Yeah, I'll put them on a budget. They won't need logistics. Just get them engineers, some heavy artillery, some support anti-tank, and later on, maybe like heavy anti-air. All right, that's Operation Vesseübung. We can now declare war on Denmark, and Denmark surrenders. Hurrah! Was to be expected. Was to be expected. Move that army over there and start preparing the naval invasion. I'm gonna hit Norway around here, Kristiansand, because if I try to hit Oslo, it's not going to work. They have too many units there. They're terrible units, but there's too many of them, as you may be able to tell. Meanwhile, Kristiansand is relatively undefended. Relatively. So I should be able to do something there. I'll keep the armor out. There's no point in bringing the armor in. And our battle of attrition here seems to be going reasonably well. They're going to commit a lot of air. So am I. So hopefully this ends up a victory for us, because this is going to be an icy meat grinder. Time for our naval invasion. Declare war on Norway. Nobody else gets involved. Yes, they'll join the allies. I know. Air cover is up. Naval invasion should work. And we've landed in Kristiansand. These units will push on Oslo, and these 16 divisions should be sufficient to overrun Norway without too much trouble. Great Western knowledge. Hooray. I'll also build up those Norwegian air bases. That's going to be helpful, because right now air cover is minimal at best. Speaking of air, how is this going? I think we are outperforming them in the air war. Not by much, but by enough to matter. I think if I can keep my industry rolling, I'll come out ahead. Let's choose here. Advanced warfare seems nice, but I don't think I want that. Logistics and supply seems like the obvious choice, considering how annoying supply is going to be. School of Offense is lovely, but the attrition's just horrible. No. School of Logistics and Supply, and then we'll follow up with some Professional Officer Corps, unless any of the other ones are particularly interesting. Don't really think so. Bayonet strength? Maybe? I don't really know if that's better than Professional Officer Corps. I'm also fairly certain I've won the air war as far as the Battle of Britain's concerned. They pretty much have nothing left. Oh, thank God. Norway's out for the count. Okay, I'll use the SS divisions to secure Norway for the time being. I'm not expecting a lot of trouble in the area. They can handle this for now, and I'll bring the other units home. Yay, another friend in the Axis. So the Axis grows. We're gonna have one hell of a border with the Soviet Union, though. Well, I'm training fresh divisions. They should be able to pick up the slack. After having seized Malta, repositioning to go for Egypt. So I'm going to try and cut them off near El Alamein and then push into Alexandria if I can. I combine with an infantry offensive by myself. Convoy raiding in these two sea zones. Naval invasion of El Alamein and the town next to Alexandria. Hopefully we can pop in and take it. I'm going to call Italy to arms. That is going to make the Greeks join the Allies. I don't care. And I'm going to start an assault on the forces in North Africa here. I have air support, but it's not really sufficient. The British still have some airplanes, but overall, we've whittled them down to pretty much nothing, I think. Unless they just pulled back fighter command and are not contesting the channel, I've bled them dry. There's nobody here. I've taken El Alamein. Alexandria is literally, I do mean quite literally, wide open. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. All right, my Marines have taken the area. That is Alexandria more or less secure. Holy cow, I did not expect it to be this easy. Well, it's not over yet, so who knows where this ends up. But that is a lot of British troops we have stuck here. And I just need to hold the door now while we bash on it from the other side. That's a good amount of British troops we'll be able to catch there. Nice. Oh God, that's it. That's it. Cross the Suez. Oh, we're gonna get across the Suez. That is the good stuff. That is Suez secured, more or less. This side is also secured, more or less. We have achieved our goals. Hallelujah. And these 8 divisions can now set up post there and push into this area here. Good. That is before the whole area flipped as well, so that's good. Should be signing all of this over to Italy next so they can deal with the occupation. I really don't feel like it. And I'll try to use the Marines for a quick seizure of Cyprus as well. That would put an end to British presence in the Mediterranean. As soon as Greece falls, it's all going to be Jover. And Marines 100% success rate so far. I'm taking out pretty much everything. I don't particularly mind. I'm just curious why there's no opposition to my moves at all. There we go. Naval superiority is really low. They've moved their fleet. Crap, my Marines aren't there yet. Fine, just hurry up. Right, Marines are ready. Navy's ready. Naval invasion support is go. Launch the naval invasion. I'm gonna try and sea line. I have 6 tanks and 16 infantry divisions available to follow up with another bunch of infantry that I could squeeze out if it came to that. Worst case scenario, I can pull the Waffen-SS troops out of Norway for a bit, just to ensure we're actually able to do anything. Oh boy. This should be fun if nothing else. This should be fun. Alright, I might be able to make this landing happen. I've got a multi-tiered attack going on. Fine, make it a force attack. See if we can force it. Oh dear, I found the Royal Navy. Or rather, the Royal Navy's found me. This is not going to end well. I think I may be outgunned here. Oh, I need to pull the fleet out. I'll lose it. I need to... Ah. Oh my god, it looks like the Marines landed. Did not expect this. I'll take the win. I'll take the damn win. Alright, expand from there. Get all the Marines in. Schorner, you have an infantry army. Get it over there. And von Manstein, you have 6 tanks available. Get them over there. Who knows? Anything can happen now. God, this total air superiority definitely helps. The noose is completely tightened. Now, just London itself, which has unfortunately become somewhat of a fortress. That's 14 divisions on 1 tile. That is certainly not good, and South London is not much better. They have massive defensive buffs. Honestly, not sure how am I supposed to push past this. You know what, I'm just gonna go around. 98% towards capitulation. If I get to Inverness, Nelligan, Aberdeen, Fort William, that might be enough to capitulate them either way. Come on, UK, 99% of the way there. One more victory point. Come on. Come on. It's over. It is done. Oh my god, I'll leave a force here as a garrison. We got him. Alright, in preparation, I'm just bringing everybody home. An additional army group in the north, then the main bulk on the regular front line. 2 armies as soon as South London falls. Yeah, I'll have plenty of troops for the invasion. I will need to go up another conscription law or find manpower elsewhere, as I am already spending a lot of it. Oh, 260,000 of it is going to garrisons. Nobody's willing to give me garrison support. That's not cool. And that is South London. The entire region is secured. Hurrah, huzzah. That is more members to the front. All in all, I think we're doing okay. More would be nice, but things being as they are, I've secured most of Western Europe. However, that whole thing has cost me so much, and I'm gonna lose so much more when I do finally go to war with the Soviets. Alright, so either I wait 60 days to get war with the USSR, which puts me well into autumn, maybe even early winter, or I manually justify. I think I'm just going to manually justify. Just gonna do a quick overview of my division. So the main infantry division is this. Probably okay. It feels alright. Maybe I should add some recon, but the supply that it uses would be significant. And then the armor. It's a bit small in design, but okay-ish, I suppose. Could replace some of it with... Where are they hiding my tanks? Light self-propelled artillery. Do some changes around here. Just gonna have to go for it. I'm going to call my allies in. These guys should all be tagging along. Yes, everyone's in. And I'm going to be sending the army north, trying to grab the local supply as best we can, and to just condense a nice big pocket. Big pockets are the best pockets, right? Okay, I hope that the air follows up. I don't want to do like a general infantry offensive, because that is going to be stupidly expensive, but I do need to do some attacking here. Secure supply hubs close to the front so I can actually advance. Like, this is not as simple as base game where you just click your army and say just Just go. Just go. You'll be fine. Because we will most certainly not be fine if we do that. I'm already down to not enough manpower. You forward pin. That is another small pocket there. And we're going for a really big pocket here. So I'm going to go for going to try to go for a double whammy with the armor. Not just a pincer here, but also a southern pincer to seize Odessa. I need to do as much damage as possible, both before winter sets in and before the Soviet debuff runs out, because right now they have a horrible, and I do mean horrible, debuff to pretty much everything relating to their army because of the purges. That's going to wear off real fast. Big encirclement here. So this is a really big pocket. I'm going to use the infantry to close that. This is sorted out, and then back to the main front, push through the river line wherever feasible. So that's another pocket. Yeah, bunch of small pockets. That's a really good start to things. All right, that is Kiev taken. Maintain the offensive. Front's really thin, but that is mostly... Oh, I should be seizing Vilnius. It's like a major victory hub. Can I take Riga? How is the Red Army doing? Army Purge is still very much in effect. I think it's been a month. A month of very bloody fighting here, and they have not necessarily fared well. That is the last of that major pocket we created being destroyed. All right, so the only trouble I'm having is in the center where I've hit those marshes. The marshes are a big issue. With every pocket, we reduce the chances of a successful Soviet counterstrike. The south goes way better than the north. This is just a couple of months in, but the south is doing much better than the north. Oh, and I found the real enemy to all of my offensives. The mud. 40% attack penalty, a 60% speed penalty. I just need to drive around the mud. There's no point fighting in the mud. Guess the tables are going to be turning now. I'll have to weather the inevitable Soviet counterattack. The Red Army is definitely no longer terrible, and they are looking very angry. Well, at least we have some success still to the south, trying to push for Crimea, but resistance is fierce. Gotta respect the guard battalions to put up a fight. It's not gonna be enough of a fight, though, to really stop me, I think. Yeah, and every time the Soviets counterattack, it feels like my units just melt. They have the same penalties I do in the snow and the coal and the terrain, and it doesn't seem to phase them. Like, I can't move forward an inch unless I concentrate armor in the perfect spot, but they're just like launching all-out offensives in the middle of winter with still suffering a purge debuff, and it doesn't matter. I don't understand how this works, what bonuses they get. I don't understand it. They should be suffering at least as much as I am. They're attacking into deep snow, a minus 80% attack factor, under the snowing, which gives me, gives them more penalties. It's also extremely cold for more penalties, another minus 80% division attack. They just keep going. It's like they're completely unfazed. Look at the penalties. They have a positive modifier from the terrain bonus that is meant to be a minus 80% attack factor. They get a positive from that. I don't know how this is working. If it's working at all, is this coded poorly? I do not understand why. It's utterly stupid. All right, with that little mess in the Black Sea cleaned up, I'm gonna go a push on Sevastopol, see if I can seize the city now with my armor available, and then I'll just hold on to Crimea for a little bit. I don't intend to make massive pushes through here. Most likely not even gonna be worth it. I'll just hold on to it with some Marines, park troops on Kerch, and position my armor for the next stage. I'm going to need to push through Minsk towards Smolensk, and then from the south here up towards Homel, and then also Smolensk to just like make the line shorter, get rid of the center of their front. That's unexpected. Welcome aboard. That'll be a welcome distraction for the Americans. Why in God's green earth Brazil on historical want to join the Axis? I'll never know, but they'll make for a nice distraction. You know what? Brazil might not be the military powerhouse I could use right now, but 400,000 men for garrison support? Hell yeah. Anyway, I decided to make the most of the absolute state of the Soviet army while it lasts, so I launched launched a major tank offensive, essentially pushing from this tile up to Homel. And because the back line was wide open, I kept driving to Mogilev, Orsha, Vitebsk. That cut the supply to all these units because I cut the railway link. So a nice pincer. I'm just going to let these offensives run while I can. I have some manpower in reserve. Equipment, less so, but I'm started shopping on the international market. I'm just buying anyone's stuff that I'm lacking, like heavy artillery. Anyone selling me heavy artillery, I'll take it, along with infantry guns. I'm trying to get my economy back on track. Yeah, some of these offensives just aren't worth it. I should halt. Just focus on the armor offensive and cleaning up this gigantic nest of snakes in the swamps. If I can close that, that'll be good. It would appear that I have found a weakness in the Soviet line in that they don't have the units to cover all of this. Neither do I. Gonna deploy more units. Crap. Manpower is running low, but this should be the final straw, I think. You know, the longer I play this mod, the more I realize what the real draw, the real appeal of this is. Behind all the industry stuff, the reworks, the extra bits, it's the challenge. Because in vanilla, this is victory. By this point, I would have already won. It would just be a matter of just capitulating the Soviets and getting it over with. Right now, I have 1 million casualties, which is high, but I can get more men to the front line if I have to. Soviets are almost at 5 million. Factory-wise, they are still possibly more than my equal. Not to mention the fact that they will probably be getting some assistance from Americans who are tying down other units. Military-wise, they now have way more divisions than they did when I invaded. So despite me destroying 4 million Soviets just on my own in the first year of the war, they are now stronger than they were when I invaded. Coupled with the fact that my production is under extreme pressure to just maintain stockpiles, my industry is struggling to keep up. Eventually something has to give. I genuinely see the appeal of this. I'm gonna halt this offensive. Guderian has done, Rommel, sorry, has done great things here, but we're done. I'm not gonna push further down. I'm going to make an infantry offensive down to this river line, and I'm going to ignore the rest. And again, there are like entire sections of the Soviet front wide open, and I don't really understand why that is. I'm going to guess they're redeploying like crazy all over the place, so I'm going to try and exploit that, grab as much land as I can. I did manage to seize the supply hub up there as soon as my tanks arrive, which apparently is going to take another month. We'll probably be able to seize Leningrad. It's completely cut off from the rest of the Soviet Union. It's just going to be a matter of getting them off this tile. With the mud modifier there, that's not going to be easy. Leningrad is being stormed, so I'm thinking this won't last long. With Leningrad secure, I have full supply in the north, I think. I've broken through to Moscow. The city seems open. I think I can take it. They just spawned a guard tank division on there, but it doesn't have org, so okay, it's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We've seized the mosque. Never mind. Oh, I've been working hard to create these small pockets all over the line. So 1, 2, 3 divisions at a time, along with the bigger ones up here. It's paying off. Oh, damn! I missed this button. I can now proclaim the Greater German Reich. I don't think it does anything. It just makes my name greater. You know what? Worth it. All right, close the jaws. Close the jaws. The jaws have shut. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The jaws have slammed shut. Now we use the armor to close this because I don't want to lose more men than I have to. By now, my armor divisions are also somewhat adapted. It's mostly motorized, as you do. I'm going to try to get some mechanized in, but honestly, currently can't really afford the expense. I don't nearly have enough mech, but I do have all medium tanks and even a heavy tank. We actually have Tigers that should significantly help us in our efforts to deal with the Soviets. Mopping up operations are underway. A little cheeky encirclement here. I'll finish up with another cheeky encirclement on the other side, and then a big and possibly the cheekiest of my encirclements around this area is what I'm gunning for, to shut the door here. That should be the remains of the Red Army dealt with. It's all coming apart for the Soviets in such rapid succession. So that's one big pocket here. We scored another one here, but they don't have the troops to man their front anymore. It's just a matter of driving wherever the armies of, well, Stalin aren't, and then closing the jaws around them. Oh yes, the cream, or the remaining cream of the Soviet army shattered. Come on, 2% more. I'm not even turning my brain on at this point. It's just a matter of walking and driving where I need to go. Come on, victory? 100%. Peace deal? Yes. I'm gonna take everything I have a claim to, and then just puppet the rest. This is gonna be wild. Computer's already on fire. Reichsprotektorat, Moscowian. German claims very extensive, very ambitious. So every single territory that we had a claim to, I took, which is quite a lot. And I'm somewhat surprised that did not include stuff like Baku and the Georgian oil fields. Okay, fair. Of course, Finland got their reward in the form of bigger Finland, and we still have a nice Reichsprotektorat here. Nope, they don't have an army left, but I suppose it could be built into one. This is where we're gonna end it. The Axis have achieved victory in Europe. I struggled. This was hard. This video was recorded over the course of 5 days, playing at an extremely slow speed for the most part, and I both hate it and I love it. There's something about this mod that tickles my brain just the right way, while at the same time making me hate every second of the experience. If you want to experience this, I can recommend it, and I recommend checking out the Black Ice Discord. It is where I went for a lot of questions and got some answers to my many questions, and it's part of the reason why I ended up winning here. Some very crucial changes to airplane designs, to infantry and tank designs, and just overall strategy. Industry will win or lose you this campaign. Anyway, this is where I'm gonna call it. Black Ice. If you want to see more videos using this mod, let me know in the comments. It was a lot of work, so I really hope you guys appreciate this video. Leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.